Winter in Vale, a mystery novella series by Miles Ledoux. Book 10, Memory Lane. Sample from Chapter 2. "Who is it?" called Candy in response to the knock. The door must have garbled the reply, for it sounded like, It's it's Jen Grogan." Candy was staying in a room at the bed and breakfast. She opened the door and regarded Jen blearily. "Well, you're looking better," Jen remarked. The last time she'd seen her, Candy's eyes had been bloodshot from having been hit in the face with pepper spray. The redness and swelling had almost gone away. "I took an acetaminophen and slept," said Candy. Jen nodded and said, "Candy, I need to talk to you." Even in this state, Candy was perceptive. "What's wrong?" Jen took her inside and they both sat down. "Violet was attacked," she said. "She's in the hospital." "What?" "She was concussed pretty badly. For a while she was in a coma, but now she's just sleeping." Candy was clearly spinning into a panic. "Is she going to be all right? She's not—" "The doctors think she'll be okay. They're not sure when she's going to wake up, but they insisted she be allowed to do it on her own. That's why I can't question her." Candy needed a minute to regain her self-control, and Jen gave her that minute in silence. Wiping away a tear, Candy asked quietly, "Who did it?" "That's what I need your help to verify. Candy, what did you and Violet talk about when you last saw her?" A pained expression came over Candy. "I shouted at her. My eyes were hurting so badly, and I was just so angry. I didn't mean to—" Jen patted her hand. "What were you angry about?" Candy swallowed. "We were in the ice cream shop, waiting to trap the man who'd assaulted Bethany, just like we'd planned. All of a sudden, Violet said she had to go do something, and she left. Even though it risked ruining the plan, she ran outside." Jen frowned. "What did she have to do?" "She wouldn't tell me. At least not at first. Later she said she'd thought someone's life was in danger, but she was wrong." "Where did she run to?" "I'm not sure. Out in back of the building, I think. Toward Dime Road." She looked up at Jen appealingly. "She's really going to be okay, right? I shouldn't have— The last thing I said to her was—" "Take a deep breath." Once Candy had complied, Jen said, "Now I want you to think carefully. Did Violet see something that made her run outside?" "Maybe. Wait, yes, she did. Out the window." "Which window?" "The side window. Wait, no. She was at the side window, but she was looking at me. I was at the back window." Candy's eyes widened. "That's it. She looked past me, out the back window, and she looked startled. When I looked out, I didn't see anything." "And she said she thought someone's life was in danger." Candy nodded. "She didn't say whose." Jen stood up. "Thank you, Candy." Before leaving, she added, "If you want to sit with Violet in the hospital, I'll make sure you're allowed." Halfway out the door, she doubled back. "And if you find Cy there, tell her to call me back. I need to know where she is." Cy was, at that moment, ringing the doorbell of a small house on the edge of town. Footsore, she shifted her weight from side to side, sucking in air through her teeth. She reflected that Myrna Redpath, her mother's old friend and schoolmate, so seldom received any visitors that there was a slight chance she'd forgotten what the ringing noise signified. Nevertheless, the door opened, and Myrna stood before her, clad in a holey sweatshirt and smelling of something that Cy felt she'd be best not knowing what. "Hi," she said as a preamble. Myrna surveyed Cy's luggage, and without waiting for Cy to go on, said, "You can sleep on the couch. Blankets in the back." "What? Oh, no, I didn't come to stay here." Myrna raised an eyebrow and jerked her head at the luggage. "You running away from home?" Cy remembered that while eccentric, Myrna could sometimes be very sharp. "I want to talk to you about my mom." Myrna grunted and shuffled away. Cy took that as an invitation to come in. Knives and other sharp instruments covered most every surface in the house. Strangely, the only place that seemed to be devoid of pointy objects was the kitchen counter. Cy set down her belongings and followed Myrna toward the refrigerator. "You want something to drink?" asked Myrna. "No, thank you." Myrna opened the fridge. "I have orange juice, cranberry juice, and some stuff Hal Clayton gave me. I haven't tried it yet. Maybe you could tell me if it's good." No, I'm okay, thank you." Cy drew a quick breath. "When I was born, my family was still living here in Vale. Were you and Mom talking back then?" Myrna shrugged, taking out the thermos given to her by Hal Clayton. "I guess." "What I mean is, did she tell you things?" "What things?" Myrna sniffed at the thermos's contents. Like, personal things. Really personal. Is this about your dad? Myrna still seemed focused on the thermos. Are you wondering if your mom cheated on your dad? You think maybe he's not your real dad? Sai did a double take. Is he not? No, he is. I just wondered if that's what you were wondering. Sai put a hand over her eyes. Myrna. Ah! Myrna had tried Hal's concoction. She spat the contents into the sink. What the balls? Myrna! Sai stepped forward. I need to ask you, did my mom want me? Myrna was still spitting. Did she want you to what? Did she want to have me? Of course she wanted to have you. She never changed her mind about having me? Well, obviously, you're here, aren't you? Sai turned a sickly color. What if that's only because she had to? Wiping her mouth, Myrna paused. Finally, her attention seemed to narrow on Sai. What do you mean? What if she didn't want to have me, but was forced to? Who told you that? I saw a document. The year I was born, my mom wanted to have an abortion. You saw a document? Sai sighed. My classmate showed it to me. And you believe this classmate? They're a friend? Someone you trust? I wouldn't exactly say we're friends, but... So they showed you this document to try to hurt you. You're believing this person who's trying to hurt you instead of trusting your mother? Sai looked up angrily. That's not... You don't... Myrna picked at her teeth with a fingernail. Sai reined herself in and said tightly, I just wanted to know if you knew whether my mother tried to have an abortion. Of course I did. Sai paled. Then it's true, she didn't want me. Myrna shook her head. Nah, of course she wanted you. Sai barely kept her temper. Look, I'm trying to make up my mind about a big decision here, so could you please not mess with me? Myrna looked her in the eye. If you're going to run away, then run away. Just know that once you do, it's not saying something about your ma. It's saying something about you. She grabbed up the thermos and held it out to Sai. Now take this and go talk to your ma. Sai deflated and shook her head. Coming here had been a mistake. She started gathering up her belongings. No, no, no. Myrna waved her down. You can leave your stuff here. Pick it up later. What? Pick it up later, after you and your ma have worked things out. Sai stared at her. Taking Myrna seriously was no easy feat, probably because Myrna went out of her way to let everyone know she didn't care whether they took her seriously or not. But looking past her quirks, Myrna genuinely seemed to want to help Sai make peace with her mother. More importantly, she seemed to think doing so was not only possible, but likely. Slowly, Sai set her things down. Okay, I'll try, she said. She headed for the door. Hey, don't forget this. Again, Myrna pushed the thermos toward her. Wait, why am I taking this? Because I don't want it. You can give it to that classmate of yours. What was their name? Nisha, but... Oh, fine. Sai took the thermos, making a mental note to drop it in the first waste bin she came across. After Sai had left, Myrna murmured to herself, Nisha.